Recording in progress.
Top of the morning, guys. Top of the top, top of the top. Let's see what we got here. Make sure everybody locked and loaded one time for the streets. Let's see. Okay. We got it. All right. Great morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? It is approximately what, December 8th, 9 a.m. We got a couple people, no stress, people like me, stress-free. Same difference, different day. Now, what I want y'all to do for me is something very, very simple. Please hit to your respective groups and tell everybody that we are on a morning motivation call so we can get started, so everybody can start their day off the right way. We can go and get our money up, not our funny up. We can make sure our minds are right to attack this crazy world that we live in that constantly swings at us. And if we don't swing back, you'll get knocked the fuck out. Ain't that crazy? So the cool thing about life is I don't normally judge people off of, how many times they get knocked down. I normally judge people off how many times they get knocked down and get back up. Because it's very, very simple to understand that if you don't give up and swing, who is coming to save you guys? Some of y'all might have somebody, right? I put up a post the other day. I was like, people like us don't have people. We're the people that people have. Do y'all understand that? Do y'all understand how living your life in that way can do a lot of mental wear and tear to you, knowing that you don't have people, but you're the people that people have? Now, they say God puts, doesn't put you through anything that you can't handle and all of that stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to say that I agree with that. But what I will say is, regardless if you can handle it or you can't handle it, does that mean you should stop? Doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. It don't matter what you think, what you feel, if it's fair, if it's not fair. You still got to get your ass up anyway and get to the business, because if you don't, the world will keep swinging regardless. And that's the difference maker in majority of the cases of anybody who becomes successful, unsuccessful. Because for you guys to be successful, we do know you have to participate in being successful, right? Y'all know that, right? You have to participate. If you stop participating in being successful, guess what's going to happen? You're no longer successful anymore. They're going to say you fell off. They're going to say, oh yeah, he probably went broke. She probably went broke. Oh yeah, remember that business stuff she was talking about? That shit probably ain't work out. That's why we don't see her no more. That's why we don't hear from them. Oh, I see you working at Whole Foods now. You fell off. All because you said, oh, everything has to be convenient for me. It has to be fair. Y'all know how people say that? That's not fair. It don't matter if it's fair or unfair. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to get your ass up or not? All right. So I appreciate everybody who actually commented in their respective groups. I seen quite a few of you did not, because my notifications was dry as hell. So I'm going to give y'all opportunity. I know y'all was listening to me. Go ahead and jump in your respective groups and tell everybody that we are on, we are live, and we about to start this morning motivation. As you guys know, every single morning motivation that I do, we are basically going to look at a motivational clip of my choosing. I'm going to dissect it. I'm going to tell you what I think about it, and then I'm going to allow you guys to participate and tell me what you think about it. All right. What's cool about that is not only will you get my perspective, I'll get yours, and we'll all grow from it and learn from it and attack the day very motivated and hyped and able to attack the world the right way. All right. So let's go ahead and get this cranked up. I'm going to pull up the clip while y'all dropping in the chat real fast. Hold on one second. Let me pull up a good one. Pull up with the good vibes on. You got that Fenty on. All right, let me go ahead and mute everybody. Remember, accidentally, you might come off mute. It's okay. I'll mute you, but try to help me out by not having to have me do that. All right, mate. Now, as you can imagine, most people aren't up at 9 a.m. People like myself get up around 7 a.m. to start my work day. And the only reason I do that is because I'm trying to be ahead of the competition. Now, most people don't realize that the world is competition, and that's perfectly fine. But the reality is, if you're not competing, I feel bad for you because you walk around like, y'all remember how Neo was in the Matrix? That's the best analogy for how the real world is, right? Because all of us are in the matrix at some point. We're going through life and we don't realize all the moving parts that's going on. They say ignorance is bliss, but really ignorance is suffering because you can't even compete if you don't know it's competition. Do y'all know that? If you don't know life is a competition and you walk around like, yeah, I'm not competing with anybody but myself. Well, guess what? I got bad news for you. The whole entire world is competing against you and you don't even know that it's a competition. So now you're going to get left behind, right? Case in point, when you guys get a job and somebody else applied for that same job, were you not competing? You all put an application at the same website. You guys all take your resume to the same exact HR office. You guys go interview with the same people. And then one or two of you get the job out of hundreds or sometimes thousands. That's competition. What was the determining factor? Was it because you were first? No. It's because after looking at all the candidates, what we think is best for this position, who was prepared the most, who showed up on time, who put their resume in and had the right alkalides on it, who actually dressed the part and their appearance was correct, who talked correctly and speak and articulated themselves the right way, who had made the gestures that I think are best fit for this job. That means it's competition. Because if you would have showed up late, would you have got the job? No. If you had showed up dressed in a clown suit, would you have got the job? No. So if you don't understand that life's a competition and you're not competing, you're going to get beat out from the people who already know and compete with the best. Make sense? Put a 1 in the chat if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So you have to compete. So if you don't, so some people like got up this morning or they haven't even got up yet. The people like us, do we not have a leg up on the competition? Because they're still asleep right now. If I go put out my offers and I go walk up to 20 people before you even wake up and make an offer on my products and services, am I not beating you because you're asleep? You still sleep. The same thing goes for 7 a.m. people who get up at 5 a.m. If you start working Uber or Lyft at 5 a.m., I'm going to make more money than the person that gets up at 9. It's just a fact. You can't compete with me. That's just one part. That's just waking up. Then it's also understanding all the ways I can compete outside of getting up before you. All of these things are all happening while you're sleeping. So remember that, guys. I don't want y'all to think about life. Oh, yeah, you're just competing with yourself and all of that bullshit. It's bullshit. Everybody just put BS in the chat. It's BS. It's what people tell you so you don't compete. It's just like when they try to scare y'all with oversaturation. Oh, don't get in this business because it's already oversaturated. Right? Don't get in, don't start a company because it's already oversaturated. What kind of sense does that make? Chick-fil-A don't give a fuck about Popeyes. Popeyes don't give a fuck about churches. Churches don't give a fuck about Wendy's. Wendy's don't give a fuck about McDonald's. McDonald's don't care about Burger King. As a matter of fact, every time you see one of them, they all right next to each other, ain't they? I ain't never seen a Burger King not right next to a McDonald's. I ain't never seen a McDonald's not right next to a Wendy's. All around the same. Taco Bell right there. KFC right there. Boom. Why are they putting all of these? If they worried about oversaturation, why would they put themselves right next to some other restaurant? If they worried about oversaturation, why are they not putting restaurant? Why are they putting restaurants in every single city the same way? It's oversaturated. It's a myth they do to teach you guys not to compete, right? So the word of the day, though, for the morning motivation is competition. Everybody put competition in the chat. All right. If you want to keep it short, put compete. The word of the morning is competition. And I'm gonna put a video up. We're going to dissect the clip. But if you wake up every day and you just exist, and you don't compete, people are waking up in competition with you, whether you like it or not. So if you don't get up and rise to the occasion, you will get conquered. This is a fact. I'm not surprised why I have these alkalis you see above here. I'm not surprised why I have this watch box. I'm not surprised why I have all of these things that I've acquired because I went after them. Y'all know that, right? Every single thing that I have, I went after it. I competed for it. As a matter of fact, I competed for it and I won a majority of the time. There are still people who are beating me in competition because they have access to different rooms that I'm not in. And once I get in those rooms, I'll compete with them as well. Because if you never get in the room, can you compete? Let's think about that. If I don't know something is going on, I'm Neo in the Matrix, right? I'm literally just existing, not knowing that all these things are going on around me. How can I ever compete with people who are having information and access to things that I don't have access to? Somebody said you was never in the game. You're not even a player. You're not even somebody who they see as an adversary. You can't compete with somebody who you're not even in the same leagues with. Y'all ever play? If you ever play sports in high school, they break you up into divisions. You ever seen that? So I'll give you guys an example how Georgia works. There's 3A, right? 3A school, meaning a certain amount of people that's in the school. You got 2A, that's even less amount of people in the school. 5A, that's normally the biggest and the most people, schools with thousands of kids in it, right? The 5A students don't compete against the 3A students, and the 2A students don't compete against the 5A students. What does that mean? I can become the state basketball championship team of Georgia and never play another team who is also the state championship team. Now, can I actually walk and say we got the best team in Georgia because we won a state championship? Yes or no in the chat? Can I say our team is the best basketball team in Georgia? The best high school basketball team? I can't say yes because I actually haven't played the other champions. Because we're in our own league. We're in a different league. Now, guess what happens? When they put me in a league that's considered better than your league, then can I say I got the best school? Can I say I got the best high school now? If I'm 5A and you 2A, they say based off the fact that we have way more students to choose from to make our teams, and every school does, that means they got a better opportunity to get better players. So when they play, the competition should be more severe. Yeah, I can say that. So now you around here running around in your 2A school bragging about how you got the best team in Georgia, but nobody respects it because you was never in the league. It's just like a basketball player that plays overseas, that plays semi-pro. If you don't play in the NBA, we don't respect it because you're not even in our league. So you can't say you're the best when this is supposed to be the best league. Do y'all think there are better players that are in the NBA that are not in the NBA? Do y'all think there's a player that's better than an active NBA player right now that's not in the NBA? Yeah, there's plenty. There's plenty. If somebody's seen them on the street, would they say, hey, bro, you're the best player in the world? Would they ever say that? If he go to pick up at every LA Fitness and he busts everybody ass, no matter who's guarding him, he go to NBA runs, he go to pro-ams, he busts everybody ass, but he's not in the NBA, would the people ever get together and say, this dude is the best player in the world? Never. Because they're going to say, why you ain't in the NBA then? I'm saying all that to say is you can't even compete. You can't even compare if you don't even get in the room. And some of us, it's not like the NBA, which is exclusive to people who get selected. We're not getting in the rooms by choice. Ain't that crazy? So you got organizations that are exclusive to people who only can get selected and brought in. But then you got things that you can actually go after, apply for, or work for, and then actually get in there. But the thing is stopping you is not the actual league. It's yourself. You don't even want to go there. You're comfortable. Everybody say comfortable. You're comfortable. They didn't pay you enough money on your salary for you to say, forget about my dreams. How much was that again? How much was that? How much did they pay you to forget about your overall dream and goal? Because they gave you some type of salary. They said 25 an hour, brother. 15 an hour. I'm going to give you $30 an hour. And you said, all right, that dream I got, I'm going to put that on hold. Guess who dream I'm going to help build real fast? You got a chance to go in another room. You got a chance to build your legacy. You got a chance to fix your credit. You got a chance to grow your business. You said, no, fuck my business. They just paid me $30 an hour. Tell me that you wasn't that at one point. I know I was there. I remember actively pursuing a dream, and then somebody offered me a job, and I said, "Oh, fuck that dream. I need to keep the lights on. Fuck it. 30 an hour." I was like, my mom don't make $30 an hour. And then you think about it. Now, of course, where I'm at, 60 minutes, $30. I want y'all to think about it like this. 60 minutes, here's $30. You can't even go and get a massage for 30 minutes for $30. You can't even go and get a massage for $30 for an hour. You can't even go get your hair done or a haircut for $30 for 1 hour. But we be like this. Woo! They just told me they gonna give me $30 an hour. I'm forgetting about my dream. Fuck that dream. Forget having a legacy. Forget generational wealth. All of that shit I seen on YouTube that I was hype about and shit that made me hype. Fuck it. They just offered me $30 an hour. So just think about it. A lot of us be giving up what we want most for what we want right now. And the reality is, it's never failed us before. The business model, they never failed. Every time your business failed, everybody tell me what happened in the chat. Every time a business went wrong, or every time you didn't do the business anymore, what happened? You just quit. That's the only thing that happened. You just quit. It's not that, oh yeah, business don't work for me. You don't work for business. Hey, y'all. Business, entrepreneurship ain't for everybody. You know what happened when niggas start talking like that? When they start talking like that, oh yeah, entrepreneurship ain't for everybody. This is why I say whenever I see these people talking about like that, right? I seen your boy Dana White. I see him talking about this. Yeah, everybody talk about entrepreneurs so easy. You're going to give up sleep. You're going to be up day and night. Well, go back to work, and then I bet you won't say you're going to do that. It's so hard. It's so hard. Man, I wouldn't tell an entrepreneur because you giving up working a fucking 9 to 5 for working all 24/7. Hey, Dana White, go back to working a job then if it's so fucking hard. I bet you they won't. Now, let me tell you why. Because it doesn't matter if it's easy or hard. That's the thing. It doesn't. Whenever somebody talking to me and they talking about, hey, Mitch, man, I want to tap in with what you doing, man, but how long it's going to take? Does it matter? The time going to pass anyway. Hey, yeah, look, how hard is it to get into it? It doesn't matter if it's easy or hard. Ain't it hard to be broke? Ain't it hard to have bad credit? So you still do that, don't you? Why does that even matter? The time is going to pass regardless of what I'm saying right now. Hey, it's going to take approximately 6 years for you to become a millionaire if you do what I'm telling you. You still going to do it, or it's too long for you? 6 years too long, huh? How long you been broke? Y'all stop right there. Yeah, it's like it's going to be a little bit hard. Who gives a fuck about that? That's the difference maker, y'all. All right, now to the clip. I got to make sure I get y'all in the game ready to rock. We ain't about to be starting it's about to be new year, new me time. Y'all know that, right? Y'all coming to Miami. We about to get active. I'm about to bring all the millionaires out. I'm about to give you all the sauce. And then guess what? It don't matter if your mind is wrong. It don't matter if you look at money. Oh, it's so hard. Business is not right for me. What's right for you? Being broke? You must like it. You must fit right in. That's what I hear when somebody talking that shit to me. Yeah, Mitch, man, I was going to fuck with you with the credit, but you said it was going to take 3 years. 3 years going to pass by anyway, stupid. Don't matter if it's easy or hard. Everybody put hard. Put hard in the chat. I will choose hard over easy any day when the money is going to pay off for whatever else in my life is lacking. I went and worked for a racist boss before. Some of y'all have before, haven't y'all? Y'all work for a racist boss? How about a boss who doesn't like you and micromanages everything you do and be hating on you? I have. Did I quit? No, the bills got to be paid, dummy. I didn't care if that was hard or stressful. I didn't like it. So when anybody trying to tell me anything about them starting their business and they be like, oh, I don't want it to be hard or stressful. People be hating. Oh, it's oversaturated. Oh, all of that shit is true when you working your damn job, fool. You just okay with being broke, though. That's all it is. Just tell the truth. Because I'm gonna be working with racist folks. I go into the bank and get deals done all the time with a racist banker who's looking at me as inferior. You know how many times I walk into a bank and they say, hey, let me get this out. And they be like, they look at me, they calling for the manager, supervisor, security. Yeah, that's a $200,000 check. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. Go ahead and cash it like you cashed that lady's right there. You ain't never seen nobody with a $200,000 check. All right, cash this $800,000 check right here. Can I get a letter of explanation for this $800,000 you just deposited in this push connections account? Hey, look, this y'all right here. Let me tell y'all, this y'all. Hey, man, I'm switching banks. They like to be racist to me. I ain't never gonna bank with Chase again. What? Hey, I was gonna merge with this dude, man, but he keeps saying little racist remarks every time we in the business meeting room. As long as the check clear, he can be racist than a bitch. Because when I was broke, I worked for racist people paying me $8 an hour. And went in there with a smile on my face and said, welcome. Here's Urban Outfitters, guys. If you guys need any help with your standards, I can help you fold. I can help you guys stay late in merchandise. I'm talking like that. Don't matter. $8.25. Racist, let me tell you something. I worked at Urban Outfitters. There is a term they use whenever they're trying to catch a thief. It's called a nick, right? So they say nick. All right, I'm telling y'all straight facts. If you walk in Urban Outfitters and they think that you might be a potential threat, right? They say, hey, is Nick working in men's today? They say it over the, so you won't be alerted that we're looking at you like you're a thief. Now, let me tell you when they would use the word Nick, all right? I worked there for 2 years. When they would use the word Nick is when a group of more than one Black person walks into Urban Outfitters. Hey, you think Nick is working in men's today? Oh, I don't know. Let me go ahead and see if I can check. Do y'all think I quit when I heard that? No. No. So you think if I'm making millions of dollars and the banker or the person I'm partnering with is saying racist things, looking at me inferior, as long as the check clear, I'm going to get it done because everything is not comfortable and convenient for myself. That's just the world we live in. I'm going to win regardless of what you put in front of me. Whatever racism, stress, any type of thing that's going on, I'm going to get it done if I can get it done. You only going to do it under the condition that everything is comfortable. Every time I walk in there, they're super nice to me. They never even think about making me double check my checks because they respect me as a Black hustler. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm going to get it done. Everybody say get it done. I'm going to get it done. Let me talk to this camera. I'm going to get it done. You did. The reality is this. Y'all are too comfortable. Most of you guys are from America, right? You guys are conditioned and enabled because we get so much shit with ease. Y'all know I done traveled all around the world. When you go to other states or you go to other countries, they actually demand respect from people like myself because they don't have no credit systems. Go to Jamaica and try to go get a credit card. Go to Belize. Go to Belize and say, hey, yeah, I'm Belize and I want to go up in the bank. Give me some fucking line of credit so I can go start a business. They're going to say, what the fuck are you talking about? Get out my bank. You got some money? Get out my bank. We come in, they giving us financial aid to go to college. They giving us credit cards. They giving us apartments with our signature, cars with our signature. They will give you a bank loan. They will give you a collateral loan. They will give you money any time of the day in the United States just for breathing. Oh, you want Social Security? Here you go. Oh, unemployment, food stamps. You need some food? Here go a card that you can go get. Bro, you go over there. Hey, look, you got a food stamp card? Go to Belize. And say, you got any money left on your food stamp card? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm starving out here. And guess what they gonna do though? You think they just gonna sit on the ground and sit Indian style and then have their hand out? No, they gonna get out there with a smile on their face and they gonna hustle whatever they can hustle. So when we come back to where our convenience is and we take that same level of competition, regardless of our circumstance, we have an extra leg up on a lot of competition. It starts with you waking up and understand what's going on around you. Does that make sense? Stop being conditioned to think everything is supposed to be easy for you to do it. Oh, I would fix my credit, but it's not easy. I would start my business, but it's not easy. I would start being able to go public with my company. I would start investing in the stock market, but it's not easy, so I'm not going to go do it. Or I would do this business, but it's not passive. You're not rich, dummy. Why the hell would you want passive income if you're not rich? It doesn't make sense. You need to actively go after your money. Are you going to be poor for life, chasing passive income streams, looking for get-rich-quick schemes, and getting mad at people like myself when I say there's no get-rich-quick scheme? It's going to take 3-4 years. It is what it is, minimum. There's no get-rich-quick scheme. Y'all be like, see, I don't even want to do it. I don't want to waste my time. And then y'all get mad at the same person they tell you a get-rich-quick scheme. Hey, I'm going to start an Amazon store for you. You're going to make money automatically. Y'all dying to sign up for some stupid shit like that. Dying for it. Please take my money. They can charge you whatever they want. I'm going to set you up an Amazon store with a product that's going to sell off the charts and you ain't got to do nothing. It's just sit back and just collect money. I'm gonna start you a drop shipping business. You ain't got to do nothing and you gonna get rich. Are you kidding me? If that was possible, every motherfucking rich person would buy every store and never let you get none. Why would they give it to you? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy every Amazon store that I ever find that makes money automatically by itself. But you know why I won't buy any? Because it doesn't fucking exist. You got to do work. You got to market. You got to advertise. You got to find, supply different products and find the products that are trending, that are working, that are valuable. You got to have customer support. You got to be able to do refunds. You got to be able to do a bunch of bullshit. It don't work like that. There's no passive income streams that going to make you rich. Active income streams make you rich enough to invest in passive income streams that you don't need to touch. So it builds up over time while you don't touch it. How you going to live and have a life that you're going to be able to buy things from passive income that you're earning? Do you think that's how it works? I got passive income coming in from my rental car business. I don't got to do nothing at all. The money comes in and I actually spend the shit when I get it. No, passive income streams means a little bit of money that comes and you let it stack up and compound over time because you don't live off of it because you have an active income stream over here that you can live off of. Don't let them trick you out the bag. All right. No more trick by the bag. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to pull the clip up. I just had to make sure I got y'all right this morning, man. This shit getting kind of crazy. So here goes the initial clip. I want y'all to look at it, think about it, process it, write notes. Tell me what the actual video makes you feel like. And then we're going to talk about it. Okay. Here we go. Hold on. Let me make sure my sound is going. My sound is sounding. Share sound. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, here we go.
Come to work next week and I say, you know what? I'm going 20 times harder. My paycheck gonna be the exact same. Man, when I had that thought in my head at FedEx, I said, man, this job ain't for me, man. I'm not saying it ain't for everybody, but boy, I'll be damned if I come to work and I'm throwing 1,000 more boxes on the truck, but my paycheck gonna be the same. No, man, I gotta learn how to do something for myself. I gotta learn how I can create my own product. I gotta learn how I can create my own service so that when I work harder and I work smarter and I'm more productive, man, I get to make at least some more money.
To all my family members and all my friends, remember when I was a young man and I kept quitting my jobs and y'all said I was tripping? Well, congratulations to the whole world. Y'all finally caught up. Now you understand what I already knew at 15 years old. It took you long enough.
If I
All right. One more time. Listen to the initial message.
I come to work next week and I say, you know what? I'm going 20 times harder. My paycheck gonna be the exact same. Man, when I had that thought in my head at FedEx, I said, man, this job ain't for me, man. I'm not saying it ain't for everybody, but boy, I'll be damned if I come to work and I'm throwing 1,000 more boxes on the truck, but my paycheck gonna be the same. No, man, I gotta learn how to do something for myself. I gotta learn how I can create my own product. I gotta learn how I can create my own service so that when I work harder and I work smarter and I'm more productive, man, I get to make at least some more money.
To all my family members and all my friends, remember when I was a young man and I kept quitting my jobs and y'all said I was tripping? Well, congratulations to the whole world. Y'all finally caught up. Now you understand what I already knew at 15 years old. It took you long enough.
If I
All right. So, very, very, very powerful clip right there. Very powerful clip. Short, sweet, straight to the point. I want y'all to think about some of the key components of what he was saying. He said, if he chose to just say, you know what? I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I want to work my 9 to 5, y'all. I want to keep my job. It's okay. Tomorrow when I get up, y'all, I'm about to put in 70% more effort. I'm about to go super duper hard, right? Super hard. I'm about to work so hard that everybody notice that I'm working 20 times more. And his paycheck is going to be exactly the same if he do that. Now, if you do the exact same thing and you wake up the next day and you got your own business and you say, I'm going to go 70 times, I'm going to go triple times the hard effort, right? Your money will increase. The amount of money that you will make. You could take the easiest example. I see Miguel in here, so I'm going to use him as an example. Miguel, he might drop for DoorDash, right? If Miguel says, I'm just going to do the bare minimum today. I'm going to work 1 to 3. I'm going to work 1 to 3. If he gets up the next day and say, yo, you know what? I'm going to work until they kick me off the app. Which one is going to make the most money? Which one is going to make the most money, the most income? Very simple to understand. If you don't understand that about life at this point at your age, you're behind, you're not competing, and you're being taken advantage of because people like myself are using that opportunity to be able to become multimillionaires. Your lack of ambition and your lack of work ethic and your lack of awareness is my opportunity. I want y'all to think about that. Your inability to go out and work for yourself and become an entrepreneur is my opportunity. My opportunity to provide employment for you. You can work for me. That's one thing. My opportunity to be able to make more money than you because you think that working a 9 to 5 with a salary, they told you how when they hired you. When they hired you, they told you exactly what your salary is going to be. It's no guessing, right? Didn't they tell y'all what they was going to pay y'all? For y'all who work lower jobs, they probably don't tell you what you make for the year. They just tell you what you're going to make for the hour because look, I want y'all to think about this. If you're right now in 2025, you don't have a salary. They probably told you how much you make based off of what they think you need to hear. So they said, we're going to start you off at $10 an hour. They don't think you need to hear about what you're going to be making for the year. They look down on you. Did y'all ever notice that? For all my salary job people, put a 1 in the chat if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Until you actually get on salary, they look at you as a person who only can understand it from that small spectrum, and they tell you how much you're going to make hourly. They don't say, hey, we're going to start you off with this salary, $80,000 a year. Because they think you're going, but what is that broken down to hourly? They think you're not smart enough to understand what it's going to be. But either way, whatever they tell you, whatever that number is, they're telling you exactly how much they're going to pay you for the year. They're not saying if you work super duper hard this year, you'll make $2 million. They ain't going to say that. You'll make $500K. No, they're going to say, I'm paying you this for the year, no matter rain, hell, sleet, snow. This is what you're going to make per year. I'm going to pay you literally 24 times in 365 days. They're going to tell you that off the gate. Where is the room for growth? Where can you become a better version of yourself under their job? There's no room. Even if they give you a raise, for everybody, I want y'all to put the most money you have ever got working at a job, the most money you ever got in a raise. Everybody put the answer in the chat. I want y'all to tell me the most money you've ever got working the same job, getting a raise. I want y'all to look at this in the chat. Somebody said $1, $2, $1. Look at this. This is when you go hard. My boy Jay Hines, he worked for the Gov. He got $20,000 raise on his salary, $20K. For the year, 75 cents, $1, $1.50, $1.30, $5. Somebody got 12,750 for the year. Steve Robinson, $5. So most of these are all the same. Most of these are all the same. $1. Everybody, yo, it's actually insane when you think about it. So what he's saying on the video is just exactly that. It's literally us doing self-inflicted financial trauma to ourselves. It's self-inflicted because the majority of us see that, know that, understand that, and still get up every day and go work there and never look to go do something different. Because when we go look to do something different, we won't go do it unless it's fucking easy. We will not get up and go do it unless it's easy. Because I'm not going to leave my motherfucking lovely job with all these benefits and all of these friends I love. I'm not going to leave this comfort of my beautiful employment to go do something that's difficult. And then you go talk to that person 5 years later. How much money you got in your bank account? The same exact amount as you had 5 years ago. How much real estate you own now? It's been 5 years, bro. Remember you were so worried about time? How much real estate you own now? It's been 5 years since we talked about that. The same exact shit it was when y'all talked about it last time. How much stock you got in NVIDIA, in Apple, Google, OpenAI? How much stock you got in there? How much Bitcoin you got? It's been 5 years. We talked about it 5 years ago. You said you want to start investing, but you're going to start comfortable. You said you're going to use your job for momentum and you're going to start getting to the investments at some point, right? It's been 5 years. What you got? Not a fucking thing. Everybody put donut in the chat. You got a donut. Put donut in the chat. You got a donut. If you don't know what a donut is, that's a 0. Nothing. It's been 5 years. If life was a game of Monopoly, you have nothing on the board because that mindset that you have is tricking you to thinking that comfort is better than difficulty, when we all know difficulty is the thing that created everything you love in this world. I'm going to say that part and then I'm going to let y'all participate. Difficulty is the thing that created everything you love in this world. If it wasn't difficult to talk to loved ones who live overseas, would they ever have created the phone? If it wasn't difficult to be able to visit people that are in a different country, would they ever create the airplane, the boat? If it wasn't difficult to fish with spears, would they never have created the net that catches an ass of fish at one time out of the ocean? Difficulty is what creates ease. That's my piece. That's what I heard from that video. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call on some of y'all to give me y'all thoughts on the video. I'm going to play it one more time, and I want to hear what it is that y'all have in specific regards to this specific video. All right. So I'm going to play it one more time, and then y'all go ahead and raise your hands, and I'm going to allow y'all to participate one time and let me know what y'all think. Cool, cool. Here we go.
come to work next week and I say, you know what? I'm going 20 times harder. My paycheck gonna be the exact same. Man, when I had that thought in my head at FedEx, I said, man, this job ain't for me, man. I'm not saying it ain't for everybody, but boy, I'll be damned if I come to work and I'm throwing 1,000 more boxes on the truck, but my paycheck gonna be the same. No, man, I gotta learn how to do something for myself. I gotta learn how I can create my own product. I gotta learn how I can create my own service so that when I work harder and I work smarter and I'm more productive, man, I get to make at least some more money.
To all my family members and all my friends, remember when I was a young man and I kept quitting my jobs and y'all said I was tripping? Well, congratulations to the whole world. Y'all finally caught up. Now you understand what I already knew at 15 years old. It took you long enough.
All right. Identify that reactions tab. Please raise your hand so I can call on y'all those. So I can see what it is y'all got for it. JB, what's up, brother? When you heard that clip, what did it make you feel like? What do you think?
What's good, Coach? What's good, man? No, that clip was real powerful. It was real powerful. But it just made me think back to exactly what it is that you were saying about the competition thing. You know, we talk about like, you know, being in competition. We're all in competition. But the one thing that like people really don't think about is like even after you get the job, you're still in competition. That's why it's so taboo to even talk about what it is that you actually make as a salary per year. Because whenever you see like, you know, people who actually work a job and 9-to-5 folks out there, whenever it's almost funny that when you're working a job, it's almost as though you're trying to play a game where you don't want to be doing too much, but you don't want to be doing too little. You don't want to be doing too little because you don't want necessarily to get fired, but you don't want to be doing too much because whenever a job sees that you're hyper productive, they're going to just give you more work and more work and more work. And 9 times out of 10, you're not getting paid for that extra work. You're just getting paid the same as everybody else. Or a lot of times for those people who are actually overworking, a little bit less. So that's why, and the crazy part about it is that's why even in those 9-to-5s, they have things like performance reviews, biannually, maybe mid-year, towards the end of the year, all of those different things to measure what your production looks like towards your peers and all these other people. So, you know, when you think about that compared to what it looks like as an entrepreneur, you know, you don't necessarily have a manager. It's you're the person who's actually managing yourself. But you don't necessarily have a manager who's telling you what it is that you're doing or trying to make yourself or trying to set you up in that competition amongst your peers. But whenever you're actually competing as a business owner, you're putting in all this extra effort and you're actually getting rewarded based off of the work that you do, based off of how you're presenting yourself and your business. So that's what was really powerful to me, man. So it's like, you know, just like how you're saying, those little things add up, but more than anything, like I think that especially now in the times, like the way that like the economy is set up and like how quote unquote difficult it is for people to get a job and all these different things, people are starting to now see just how valuable their actual work is compared to what it is that they're actually getting paid amongst like in the grand scheme of things.
For
like
sure.
60 minutes in a day, $30?
Nah.
No, that's insane.
No, that's good, JB. So what you're talking about is even the game within the game. Everybody put game in the chat. Because, you know, we stopped at even competing just to get the job. Then once you get the job, you're competing inside the job that you just competed to get. That shit is insane. And then guess what? He says, he said it without even saying it. A lot of times we get a position, do more work, get paid less than most people, and why it's taboo to talk about your salary. Because y'all know what happens. You can get fired for talking about your salary. Why would they fire you for that? Why in the world would somebody say, oh, you told Kel that you're making $20 an hour? It's not. You can't talk about how much you get paid because Kel is doing the same position as you or more, and he's making only 15. That's why you can't talk about your salary. You messing up their game, like Kel said. You messing up their game. It's the game within the game. But imagine that you're the one in the game. You're a character for them, and they're the game master. How much control do you really have when you're under a game master? So I want y'all to start thinking about these things. So that was very profound, JB. Everybody get flames in the chat for my brother participating. That's the type of stuff that I want to hear because we don't realize these things are going on. And we just living, we just existing and just going through it's like we're a marionette. You're like Pinocchio. You're like a puppeteer being controlled. And you like, I want to go do this, but I can't because my master said I can't. That's kind of how I feel like when I want to go take a trip, but I got to ask for PTO. I got to see if I can be able to take those days off on the calendar, get somebody to cover my shit. Like, master, can I go, please? I can't even go. I'm not in control. The puppeteer is. That's the reality. You feel me? Jay Hines, when you heard that clip, what did it make you feel like, brother?
It's very, very, very powerful. It's just kind of, I could totally relate to it, and on a certain level. And what I mean by that is, like, even with the government, like to the average, person, or to society, it's almost like we're like brainwashed, right? So, and relating it to me, I'm looking at like, hey, I'm making this salary. I'm making over $200,000 a year. I made it, right? But the reality of it all is, like, for me, and relating it to the video, in the federal government, like, I'm maxed out. I hit the max salary. So by law, technically, I can't make more than a congressman, right? So even though I'm doing more work, I can't, make more. I can't take home more money in a year than the congressman, right? So with that being said, I still am required to work. Like, I just got off of 3-4 nights of a 12-hour midnight shift, right? Working overnight, and on the weekend and stuff like that. And so even though it was like overtime, technically I don't see it in my pay. Now they'll give it to me a year later or like in the springtime, but it just kind of makes you think. And so, like, I can't front. I was like sitting there. I was like, I definitely see what Push is saying. I totally see it because it's like I'm brainwashed, right? You feel like you're the big man. You're making 200 or something, but I'm still away from home. I'm still not seeing the money in my paycheck, because I make so much money in their eyes, right? And I'm just seeing it later on.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I'm trading my time for money, and I'm not being compensated until later on.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, another thing too, quickly, I was working a protection assignment before my midnight assignment with the president of Rwanda, and so I see a retired Secret Service agent come in, and he's with a former cabinet member of President Trump's. So we recognized each other. He introduced himself. I said, "Oh yeah, I remember you." He said, "Yeah, I retired in 2003." So he was like, "Yeah, such and such from the administration hired me as his security, and we created a security agency. He's paying me $1,000 a day." And then I'm saying to myself, like, he's like kind of saying it like, "Yeah, this is so good," and I'm thinking to myself, like, when I look at my Bank America bank account and I see what those renters pay me, I was like, I made that and more. So it just really, really hit home. It's like, it's so powerful.
For sure.
It's like the thing that separates us is like the information.
That's
and,
it.
like, even with me and business, right? Like with the trucking business. Right, when Amazon pays for loads for the truck, right? So if it's like non-peak seasons, like it's not like after Black Friday or Christmas time, that same load that may go 200 miles may pay, let's just say, like $500, right? And then peak season, obviously they're going to pay more. It might be that same 200-mile load on the same destination may pay $1,200 because it's peak season, and Amazon has to get that freight to where it has to go. But me, on the business side of things, I can't pay my driver more money because when it's not peak season in first quarter of next year in January and the freight doesn't pay as much, he's now going to say, "Well, why would I do this route? Right? I got paid more in December. Right? Why would I do the same route and pay less?" So as a business person, I just came up with a pay scale. So he's getting the same thing. He's getting the same thing regardless if it's peak season or if it's not peak season. So it's like, on one hand, as a W-2 employee, right, I see the game that's being played, and then as a business person, I'm playing the same game.
Got to.
Even though I'm deemed to like my family, and he made 200 something. The boy from Brooklyn, from Bed-Stuy, he made it in like, but it's just like it's the mindset, right? And then once I feel like I changed my mindset, then the sky's the limit. So when you play that video, I mean I can totally identify with it. So it's powerful and impactful to me.
Yes, sir. Powerful, perfect, Jay Hines, as always, bro. Appreciate you for participating. Everybody put flames in the chat. He's talking about the game within the game. Y'all see how many layers being peeled back? So then you talking about you as the employee, then you as the business owner. You're still playing the game, but it's just from where? Like we all talk about comfort and ease. Look at what happens when you have the information versus when you don't have the information. Look at the position when you have the power versus when you don't have the power. It's so many different things going on, but it all goes to say, which one would you rather be? The one that when he works harder, he gets paid more. When he works harder, he has the hope that Jay Hines says, hey, bro, we got to hope that Jay Hines makes a mistake and says, yo, I'm going to pay you more because it's peak season. And then he got to worry about that soft blow next year when it slow down. I got to hope he makes a mistake because he's in control. So remember, this is why we do these morning motivations. This is why we talk about these things, because unless we enter this into our psyche, we will not care about it. We won't talk about it. We won't think about it. We'll just go on participating, letting the world swing on us, and we ain't swinging back. All right. Mr. Miguel, you heard that clip. What did it make you think about, sir?
Entrepreneurship is one thing that people don't talk, and they think it's like a scam. I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 13, 14 years old. I used to sell knives, door to door, catalog things. And for me, I used to always own a job and always look into the business a different way that I was working. Like I would literally find out what am I worth in the company very quickly. So that was my downfall for the company, because I literally would identify their game. So automatically I would get like penalized for identifying their game. So they'll either throw me a lot of work, pay me less, don't give me bonuses. And then that actually pushed me towards the entrepreneurship. And people think entrepreneurship is some crazy mindset. And the first thing they do is divert you from that, because it's something unknown. And I believe that's the only thing that is going to make you level up. Doesn't matter what it is. So this video actually resonates with me, because as soon as I started quitting these jobs and finding out, okay, this is not for me, and I bounced from job to job, warehouses, restaurants, management positions. I had $1 million companies handed to me literally every day with the key. I could literally walk into the key, and it's just all about the puppet master. Like, it doesn't matter how much you're gonna get paid, you don't have control of your life, period. Like, you don't have control of nothing. One of the reasons I love what I'm doing is right now I can literally end my dash and sit here in my house and listen to this conversation. And as soon as I finish, I could literally go back out and work until I get kicked out. So DoorDash doesn't kick you out. I work until I fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? So that is the mindset. For me, it's more about the freedom, the ability to create memories, the ability to do whatever you really want, the ability to perform how you want to perform and get paid for it. Because if you slack, you don't get paid for it in entrepreneurship. If you go hard, you bust your chop, you waste your sleep, you wake up and do the same thing over and over and over and over again, you're going to get rewarded for it. And another thing that is very important, you got to get yourself a disruptor. Shout out to my coach, Mitch, because that's been my disruptor since day one. And now people see it. They see the motion, but they don't know that until you find that disruptor in your life, that's when you're going to actually lock in. Mentorship is very important. For me, it's been, and he knows I've been after it. That's been my number one. It was my number one to be in the Black Club since the beginning. And I want to be with the elites. Yesterday, we're chopping information to 12 midnight. And all the people that were in last night's call is here.
Dang.
Everybody that was at last night's call, they're right here. Like nothing happened. We woke up at 6:30, like nothing happened. So that being said, that once you start literally locking into that dream of yours and you stick to it long enough, like my mentor said, just stick a little bit longer, you will start seeing the fruits of it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Miguel. Flames in the chat for Miguel one time. And like I said, it's very important. All of these things, man. If y'all can hear anything from what Miguel was saying, he has the ability to work until he decides that he doesn't want to work anymore. That is probably one of the most important things. Like, I want y'all to always remember that. Like, when you're an entrepreneur, you control it. I remember working and I'm like, look, I need some extra money this month. I had to ask, like, can I make more money, please? Like, can you let me stay some more? Can you give me a double? Can you add me on the shift? Can I take this person? I got to get lucky that they say, you know what? Sure, Mitch, I'll let you work tonight. And they're going to be making more money with me being there. But I'm also going to be at a benefit if the master says, yes, sir, you can come on and make some money. Also, the same thing when I don't want to go to work. I want to go spend time with family. I want to go ahead and live this life a little bit because I'll mostly be existing. Your life, as you get older, time passes faster. Did y'all know that? When we was kids, time would pass slow. Y'all remember how long a year was when you was a kid? A year would be long. Even 9 weeks in school. We try to get through the first 9 weeks of school. That shit would take years to go by. It's because when we're young, our brain is developing new information constantly, right? So it appears to be slower. But after you become an adult, the world becomes very redundant and like we're doing the same things over and over again. So we don't have to process new information. We're just going through the motions, right? So now time goes by like this. Same amount of time, but it just feels like that. 2025 just started for me. I feel like we just did the New Year, New Me last year. New Year, New Me is coming up literally in a couple weeks for 2026. I feel like it just happened. We just did it. It's a whole year that passed by. So just think about it. I just gotta exist and not live because I gotta work for you and you tell me when I gotta come to work and if I go too far long, I'll be like, yo, I need a week off. You like, yo, I gotta go find somebody else. The freedom of what Miguel was talking about is he said DoorDash don't even kick me off. That's just one platform. He don't got to only do that. While he doing DoorDash, he can be working another business by choice. Or he can say, no, I'm cool with just doing this. But he has the choice. Everybody put choice in the chat. All of us got choices to get in rooms or take opportunities, but most of us choose to keep making that left instead of that right decision, right? All of us had those type of opportunities. And I'm never confused at why I have what I have because I know the decisions that I chose to make when I could have said no like my friends did. Y'all think my friends going to go get a mentor? Every rich person y'all ever meet from this day on, ask them if they got a mentor. All of them going to say yes. Then go ask all your broke friends if they got a mentor. All of them going to say, nah, I ain't got no mentor. What the fuck I would do with that shit? I'm my own mentor. Google my mentor. YouTube and ChatGPT my mentor. Why you think I look so fly? And then you're going to meet every rich motherfucker with 85 acres. Yeah, I got a mentor. My mentor taught me this when I was younger. Blah, 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 blah. Damn, you don't got nobody to show you nothing, so you know everything, you fool. That's why this is so important to be in these rooms and for you to start thinking about these things and talking about these things, getting them out, and then being able to expose yourself to new information. Exposure equals expansion. If I thought just how I thought last year, I'd be broke. I'm going to just keep it a beat. I'm talking about myself. Just the way I thought last year. Today, I would be broke. But because I kept getting in new rooms, I learned the new information. I learned about what was happening, and I was able to make adjustments with the information. Most of the people that I know, they didn't adjust, and they said, I'm cool with what I know already, and then they got blockbustered. They got their ass blockbustered. Do y'all know what it's like to be on Hire Car or Get Around, and then they shut down? Do y'all know what it's like to do that? I got 155 cars all on hire car. They fucking say, oh, we going out of business, bro. Sorry. Hey, but I had like 6 or 7 claims that was supposed to be paid out this month. What's going on with that? Chuck up the deuce, fool. You're done. Get that shit back in blood. That's what they said. That's what they said. It's the same thing if you running a business with a particular merchant, right? I take all my payments through PayPal. And they say, yo, the way you do your business, we don't do that no more in 2025. It's a dub. Get it back in blood. Gone. What you gonna do? But no, I was in the rooms where we said, oh, we all switching to go high level, yo. Everybody switch right now. We're gonna go use this merchant fan bases. Oh, yeah, we're gonna switch. We all gonna switch to NMI's high risk. I'm in the rooms. I was lucky enough to be in the room. And guess what? All them boys who had PayPal, yeah, they took my shit for 180 days, man. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to survive. My bills are 20K a month. What the fuck I'm gonna do? Oh, you ain't getting in the room with us? Oh shit. You wasn't trying to compete, was you? Because now you're done. Seen that boy in Whole Foods with an apron on, pizza section, no fraud. Y'all know how I mean? I'm in Miami now, right? I be running into dudes in Miami and they always saying shit like, yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, Mitch, I can't wait to get back rich. Get back rich. Crazy. The reason is because some people take it upon themselves to think that they already know everything and they don't need to learn anymore, or they invested in themselves once and they think that's enough. This is a lifestyle. Things are changing every day. Now it's AI. Next year, AI. Can y'all imagine what next year AI gonna look like? Oh my God, I'm scared to death. But you better believe I'm gonna know what the fuck it is, though. I ain't gonna be the one being the consumer on that. I'm gonna be in the up and up. I'm gonna pay to get in that room to learn. Yo, this is gonna be all the new AI. We got a new AI software that can do this, all the customer onboarding, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? You're gonna be like, I ain't paying for that shit. And guess what? I'm gonna be there running a business with a whole AI getting paid millions of dollars. You're gonna be mad at me. Y'all gonna be looking at me like I'm the enemy. I ain't do it. I paid too. I had to pay to learn the motherfucker. I took a risk. I could have paid to learn it and it didn't work. But guess what I did? And it does. Everybody put it does in the chat. It does pay, fool. Once I learned the mentor hack, it was over. Then I started blacking out in the bank account. Blackout gang. Everybody put black in the chat one time for the streets. Black club action. I started blacking out on them. Banks looking at me crazy as fuck. I'm telling y'all, y'all think the stories I was giving y'all earlier was made up? I went there with $800,000 check. Lady looking at me. She looked at the check. She looked back at me. She was like, hold on one second, sir. Let me go grab my supervisor because these type of checks, we got to get extra signatures for them, okay? I said just like this, okay. Cash me outside. How about that? Blacking out on them. Now, I want y'all to really hear this and really let it go into home. Like that word competition. I want y'all to hear it and feel it. From this day on, it's December 8th, y'all. You need to be competing. And if you're going to compete, you need to compete to win, not to quit. Stop thinking about how you're going to leave something or how long you got to do something or how long it's going to take. We just doing it until we win. And then when you win, guess what you got to do? You got to win again. That's the craziest part about all of this shit. Just like my boy Kev said, it just is what it is. And my boy JB, when you win, you got to win again. When you get the job, then you got to go compete again. When you make your first million, then you got to go make $1 million again. It's don't stop. Stop looking for that comfortable, oh, I need to relax now. Y'all know the dumbest saying that I be hearing all the time? You need to make money in your sleep or you'll work till you're dead. Get that dumb shit out of here. That's the dumbest shit ever. What billionaires y'all know that don't work? Where they at? Show me them. Where they at? Because I still see Mark Zuckerberg working his ass off. Jeff Bezos, he getting busy right now. Elon Musk, they getting busy. Jay-Z and them boys working. Why you coming out with a new Bacardi? You already a billionaire, right? Don't let them get y'all with this dumb shit. We actively going to get income every day. We going to work till we dead. What y'all think we going to get old and just say, oh, that's it, baby. Going to the beach. Y'all know what happened when like you retire your mom or your parents? Because I'm one who's done this. I paid for my mom everything, right? You know what happened to them? They start getting sick. When you take somebody off the work floor and they stop talking to people, engaging around people, and just be home all day, just chilling and buying shit, that's when they start getting sick and all of that shit. We gonna make it dance. Y'all got me? Get all that bullshit they telling you out of your head. You worked till you did. Everybody you know worked till they did, ain't it? Your grandparents wasn't working. Who grandparents ain't work? Put a one in the chat. Who grandparents ain't work? Put a one in the chat. That's some of y'all in here. Who grandparents did not work? Because my grandma worked all the way till she died. My grandpa died. I don't think he was that old, so I know for a fact he was working. Working. So you mean I'm going to be like my grandma? And I'm going to have $1 billion, but I'm still working? Shit me. I'm cool with that. Some work you like to do. When you start doing something that you love to do, then you start liking it. You start liking to get big deals closed, even if you don't like the business model. You like the money. You like the thrill of doing a deal and then getting it closed. And like, oh, I just did another M, boy. I like that part. I don't want to stop doing that. I don't want to be on a beach getting salt all in my throat when I'm on a yacht, like, screaming and shit. That's cool. I got to get busy. Everybody put busy in the chat. We got to get busy. Stop trying to look for all this easy shit. They get y'all with that in America. I ain't never met nobody overseas like, yeah, man, I want to stop working now. I don't want to work no more ever in life. No, sir, Bob. No. Give me 20 million. You won't hear from me. I won't never work again. It's only so much traveling you can do. So many foods you can try, bro. Y'all heard Will Smith talk about it. Will Smith said, y'all know about rock bottom, right? He said, y'all don't know nothing about mountaintop. Will Smith said he made so much motherfucking money and got so much access and shit, he don't know what to do with it. So now he got to figure out who he really is, because now he got to reach the top of the material world. That happens if you make a lot of money. So you thinking you going to retire? No, you're going to be wanting to do more with the money. Now that you got money, you're going to make impact. You're going to change other people's lives. Now you're going to be able to help and build wells here. You're going to be doing shit. You're not going to not work. You're going to build a whole foundation and organization for people you can. You're going to be working. So get that shit out your mind. All right. Anyway, I'm going to let these last two go. Then I'm going to let y'all up out of here. Thank y'all so much for even being on a Morning Motivation. These help me as well as they help y'all. So always make sure y'all remember that. We're going to keep powering up. I'm going to show the clip one more time just so I can give my boy, the rental car guru, a.k.a. Mr. Justin Williams, a refresher. And then we're going to go with Devontae and get up out of here. All right. One more time for the clip.
Come to work next week and I say, you know what? I'm going 20 times harder. My paycheck gonna be the exact same. Man, when I had that thought in my head at FedEx, I said, man, this job ain't for me, man. I'm not saying it ain't for everybody, but boy, I'll be damned if I come to work and I'm throwing 1,000 more boxes on the truck, but my paycheck gonna be the same. No, man, I gotta learn how to do something for myself. I gotta learn how I can create my own product. I got to learn how I can create my own service so that when I work harder and I work smarter and I'm more productive, man, I get to make at least some more money.
To all my family members and all my friends, remember when I was a young man and I kept quitting my jobs and y'all said I was tripping? Well, congratulations to the whole world. Y'all finally caught up. Now you understand what I already knew at 15 years old. It took you long enough.
If I
He talking shit too at the end. Took you long enough, slowpoke ass. All right. Mr. Justin, what you got, brother?
Yo, what up, Mr. D?
Yes, sir.
Bro, man, it is crazy for real. Like I say, resonated, deeply. First off, man, like what JB said about, the performance evaluations definitely was something I was going through on a regular. I'm talking about quarterly. I'm like, damn, my stuff under average making me feel bad when I'm like, in reality, you know what I'm saying? He just compete with everybody. And then like Miguel said about that disruptor, for the longest I was, really legit trying to just find a way. I'm like, man, and I don't really want to work this job, but I know, like you said, the bills got to be paid. So it's like, you're going to do what you got to do. You know, just I think that alone was, you know, I would say the ultimate game changer for me, for real. Like, even just considering how time is gonna pass, it's like, you know, a lot of times we try to, you know, dictate these different goals, like, okay, well, it's gonna take me that long, you know. But I remember one time vividly you had mentioned about college. Like, you literally spend this amount of money, you go to college for 4 years, but yet, you know, you can't invest the same amount of time into your business. And you know that it's going to be more beneficial to you. Even when we talk about the aspect of, you know, the professors speaking about, you know, hypotheticals, not necessarily telling you exactly what was done, but more so, maybe you'll, you know, see this happen, you will see this happen. And I went to school for business. I got my degree in business admin. And I'm listening and I'm like, it's crazy. Been in business shorter than, you know, the 4 years that I actually went to college. And I've already experienced more in the first year alone, just doing, you know, real business. So I find that so crazy. But the reason that I think this resonates, you know, so much with me, just, you know, just like yourself, work multiple jobs. And I think this one take the cake. My first job was at Cracker Barrel. You know,
real raisin spot.
For sure. At the time, you know, I didn't really see it because I'm like, you know, doing whatever I gotta do, no excuses, this, that, and the other. But I vividly remember one time I was started off washing dishes and then I ended up getting promoted to server. I say promoted, that's hilarious to me, but became a server. And you know, the host, it's just like any other restaurants, you know, the host would come seat the people first, and then from there, you know, they're gonna see them at your table based on your section, the amount of tables that you got and stuff like this. So I remember this older white couple coming in, you know, they was already like, everybody was looking weird off the roof. But I remember them saying, I was like, what the hell, like whispering about it? The server came, the host came back to me and she said, hey, we're gonna sit them in another station. I'm like, damn, why? So, you know, whole time I'm adamant about it because I'm like, that shit is weird as hell. She was like, I didn't want to make a scene or anything in the front. She told me in the back kitchen, she was like, yeah, they said that they didn't want anybody, you know, black to be their server. Say, damn, they just bold like that. And then it's crazy the whole time. Like I said, this is like usually I worked there for probably about 4 or 5 years, like started there in high school, went to college, inconvenient as hell, was driving back home an hour every weekend in the midst of everything that was going on, you know what I'm saying? Just because the bills still got to be paid. But even in the midst of that, and I think this really kind of resonates so heavily with the message. So they had like a manager program. And and we had one GM, that was the first person I ever knew directly that, you know, I had like some conversations with that was making like over, you know, like making 6 figures a year or whatever. So he like, yeah, man, one day this could be you, you know. Man, it's gonna be lovely. Then on the ass end of me getting ready to leave, I started realizing how much dude was working. And I'm talking about, like, we go back to the same thing you said earlier. He on salary. He like, yeah, man, I'm pulling in, you know, I'm 20 a year. But then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, I ain't even really working this many hours. I'm probably working like 30-ish hours. I'm like, shit, why every time I come in here, I see you in here.
Facts.
Not even trying to make no comparison to Friday for real. But I'm like, damn, why the fuck I keep seeing you in this bitch? Like, you got other managers in here too. It's like, you know, you got usually one GM on staff, and he ain't even gotta be there all the time. But shit, as much as he was in there, he had to be in there. So the GM in there, and then you got 2 other managers that's under him, and they making 50. And in order to get to that GM position, you gotta, you know, come in, and they literally, I ain't gonna say boom, that really ain't the word, but they trying to kind of, you know, get me into that situation of like, yeah, man, you should be the manager, this, that, and the other. And then as I'm working there, I'm realizing they quitting. I'm like, and not just one, down there, like, I had a whole new staff of managers, didn't transfer to another store, nothing like that. But I'm like, it's crazy, you know, the whole brainwash aspect, because it's like literally you trying to convince me to get into a program to do something that you don't even like doing, that don't even really resonate with you. I found that to be insane. And it's like, you know, it's really deeper than the whole money aspect. Granted, you know, you almost give yourself a salary ceiling. We talk about, you know, price like ceilings, we talk about price floors, all this other stuff, but you almost give yourself a ceiling, because regardless of what you may feel, you're only gonna be able to make so much money. But yet they find different ways to enhance it. I remember having a conversation and they telling me, man, well, you might be only making 50K this year, but the benefits, I'm like, bro, and at this point, I don't already realize. I'm like, yeah, you probably could have got me with it about a year ago, but I'm like, nah, I'm more so closer to the door than I am eating. But I'm like, the way that people are trying to sell you, just like we talk about, you know, the damn like additional condiments and stuff like that. We go to McDonald's. You know, I know shit. I done said multiple times. I say, that this bitch tripping like it's coming out of their salary or something like that. It's literally people that buy into the system so much to the point of where when they say different things like that, it comes second nature. They don't even think like we thinking. Dude told me the other day, literally, I was like, hey, bro, I was at Wingstop. I said, I can get an extra rank. He said, well, you know it's going to cost. I didn't say nothing about the price. I'm like, I got to pay food. Just go ahead and hang it up. But I'm like, the way that people act about, you know, these jobs and nothing against it. Because like I say, shit, I work jobs more than I've been in business. But now look at something like shit, I realized what it was. Even when I was working a job, I would be looking for a way out. So, you know, just having that way out. And like I said the other day, you know, definitely about in 2 weeks, like about to hit, you know, just, you know, full entrepreneur. But it's like, it's so profound because even, you know, the thought process when it comes to money, when it comes to time, all of these things resonate so different because it's like, I fully determined. Dude, like Miguel said, literally everybody going hard on the call last night. Same people that, you know, Clark was last night on the call. Same people that's on here this morning. So it's like you really control your destiny, regardless of if you feel like it or not. But it's human that I think we just trained to accustomed to feel like, yeah, what? It's so much easier for me to have a boss. Hell no. How you say you want freedom, but you know what I'm saying? You conditioned to think like that.
Powerful. Everybody put black in the chat one time for my brother. He just blacked out on there. These stories are so useful and hit home for a lot of us because I'm sure when he was talking, a lot of y'all was remembering times where y'all was going through these same processes and these same thoughts, right? And what's cool about it, man, I love that story about the condiments, and it's real deep. That shit is deep. Like when you ask somebody, like you just ordered a meal from McDonald's and then you say, hey, can I get a sweet and sour sauce? And then they say, you know that shit 25 cents. A motherfucker like me will say, give me 122 of them. And then they just gonna hand you a stack like this and not charge you. Why did you say that? Why did you say that? You've fully been promoted and brainwashed into the organization. Once you worried about it costing 25 cents for a pack, you should be saying, sure, here you go, 25 cents. Thank you. Call it a day. But the reality is, why are you trying to protect this business in their 25-cent catch-ups? It's because you are now a company man. You are a part of it. They have now got you. When he was sitting in orientation and they talked about the service and all of the business and protecting the brand, and most stuff is internal, not external, they got you. And the crazy thing about it is most people won't realize it until years later. So we're lucky. We're actually advanced. Everybody that's on this call, we're advanced. It's just facts. The average millionaire becomes a millionaire in their 60s, right? And it's only because they find out all of this stuff that y'all are talking about right now later. Can you imagine? Y'all know how that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Y'all know how it is when you talking to your parents about credit right now and they tell you right now all of the ways credit won't work and shit? Lord help you. If y'all would have seen me talking to my family about credit and shit, they'd be like, you can't do that because if you do this, like, what are you talking about? I got over $1 million in cars. I got over $4 million in real estate. I got over fucking $15 million in credit and funding. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Just be quiet. Just listen. Don't talk. You don't know nothing. Just don't talk. You can't teach an old dog. You ever try to tell your mom she wrong? Mom, you wrong about it. Whoa, start tripping. So what do you think it looked like when you've been thinking a certain way about 9-to-5 business, credit, entrepreneurship, all of that for years out of your life? And now you got to try to forget all of it. You got to unlearn all of it to try to relearn as a new. Why do you think it's so many young multimillionaires coming up in this social media era? Because they ain't got all of that brainwashing y'all got. They already think they don't need a job right out of high school. They're like, I can do content and become rich. I can go stream. I can YouTube. I can start a business just like this. It's easy. All I need is ChatGPT and I can start. They already believe it. They don't think that they got to work. You are already preconditioned from an era before you of your parents that taught you, go to high school, get your degree, work, and pay off that degree as soon as you possibly can. Probably in your mid-60s, you probably be done. get you a nice home on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, right? Be in debt for your whole entire life, and not good debt either, bad debt. And you'll have a nice life with benefits. Go to the military, get something under your belt. They'll pay for your college. I've seen those commercials my whole life, and I always wanted to do it, but I was a little too old to join the military. So my kids are going to go to the military and get their free education. And that's what you program like. So if you live your whole life program like that, and then you meet somebody like me and say, yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I made like $2 million last month. You're gonna be like, look at this scammer. You ain't made no damn $2 million last month. That's impossible. You ain't in the NBA. You ain't no singer. You ain't no rapper. Yeah, I know. I make more money than rappers. I make more money than singers and rappers and shit. Yeah. No, yeah, it can't be. Yeah, no. They start thinking of all of these reasons why all their information from before doesn't make sense with what this person is saying. It doesn't compute. It can't be true. So then you put up a block. Beep, you got an X. The X just go across my face as soon as I start talking. Y'all know that, right? As soon as I start talking, beep, this man, it can't be true. Based off of my previous information and knowledge, a black person that's not a rapper or an athlete or if he's an entrepreneur, he cannot be rich. It's impossible. Right? And there we have it. The brainwashing is complete. How can I help you make money? You have to unlearn to be able to relearn. If you don't get in these rooms, you'll never hear these conversations. If you don't hear these conversations, your brain will continue to operate with old information, not new information. And the old information has got you where you are today, to that bank account you got today, your credit score you got today, your friends, relationships, access to country clubs, lack of. Everything you have is based off your previous information. That's why you at where you at. Some of y'all are not even qualified to make a good decision. You ever thought about that? Some of y'all right now are not qualified to say this is a good opportunity or not. And y'all be trying to ask other people who also aren't qualified to give you reassurance. Hey, man, this is not a good opportunity, is it? How the fuck would I know? Look at me. How the fuck would I know? I just asked you for $50 last week. And you asking me, should you do what? Should you start a rental car business? I heard about Toro. That's where they be at right there. I heard about Toro. I know my one friend from across the street. He got this guy named Philip, who know a guy named Sam, and he rented his car on Toro, and it didn't work. So you know it's not going to work for you, right? Take me for instance. I'm the perfect person for you to ask. Look at my rental car fleet. Booming. Idiotic. We're not even qualified to make a good decision. That's why we got to keep exposing ourselves to different rooms so we can be able to disrupt that natural frequency that we were supposed to do. Because y'all not supposed to be here. Y'all not supposed to meet me, listen to me. Back in the day, the elites only hung with the elites. That's why people hate coaches and mentors online now so much, because it got the black community and got their hands on it, right? That's just the first thing. The second thing is y'all going to give out information that the elites are supposed to keep in-house and gatekeep. You going to give it to these motherfuckers? They supposed to be working at Chippendales. They supposed to be working at Magic Mike's. That's the most money they ever gonna make. This dude supposed to be at the resort and spa right now, giving me a water. And you telling him how to become a millionaire? You fucking up my swag. Don't ever give up with the elites. Work hard to keep in house. That's why they don't like people like me. And y'all be right with them. Right, yeah. Why? If you ever made money, why the fuck would you sell a course? That's so stupid. And they be getting y'all be gassed up with them. Yeah, they're all scammers. Got them. Another one. Go right back into work. Clock in right to McDonald's and shit. Put your hat, your little visor on. Got your stupid ass. They got you. Keep that motherfucking shit in house so we don't got to worry about these peons ever being rich with us. Then all my friends who I like, the people who I grew up around, who talk like me, act like me, I don't get to hang with them when I make it, right? Because y'all don't want to come. Y'all want to stay over there, right? And I got to hang out with these dudes who, you know, got to stick up their ass. I can't say how I talk. Y'all know I be like, yo, this nigga crazy. This guy's crazy. I got to be careful with them fucking country private jet hangers and shit. Can't be talking my normal self. And that's why they say it's lonely at the top. I done did everything to get into this position to where I got income and access. And I go tell my homie, hey, come over here. Nah, all that shit a scam, blah, 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 blah. What? They already got you. Too late. Can't save you. And then they mad at me for helping the community. Let me tell y'all something. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, y'all favorite ones, Bill Gates, them boys that never come to the hood and coach y'all on shit. They flying over you right now in they PJs. Warren Buffett, he still drives his old Cadillac. He got 2 private jets, you dummy. He still live in his house from the 1960s. He got a $10 million house in Florida. Stop playing with me. Y'all got to get out of that fucking bullshit, letting them program y'all the wrong way to stay working for them. I'm here to disrupt you. That's why I have masterminds. That's why I bring y'all around me. That's why I let y'all sit in the car. That's why I put y'all in the mansions. I got CEO Mo. He did like $3-point-something million this year, all rental cars. I sat that very same young man in my BMW i8, exposed him to it. He went home, bought one. I sat that very same young man into my Lambo, in my Urus, let him drive it in LA. He went home, bought one. I showed that man over $1 million in my account. He came back, showed me over $1 million in his account. It's over. I already can see what I'm doing. Exposure equals expansion. I'm doing some shit Warren Buffett would never do. I'm teaching people that aren't considered the elites how to get to the bag, and they never going like that. And they not going to want you to like it either. So they going to keep you over there rooting for them. Yeah! Get these core sellers out here. All the boys from Atlanta are scammers. Well, how come? What happened? When are we going to get exposed for it? When we going to go to jail for the shit? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? When y'all going? When are we going to Google and see that I don't own all my properties? I don't. When is it going to happen? Oh, it's not. The reality is they don't want you to know. So you got to make it your business to want to know, to get in the room. All right? Put black in the chat. I'm going to get y'all to black out. We're going to wrap it up with Devontae. I said too much to take you off task, so I'm going to let you watch the video one more time. I already know you're going to be talking about what I said. So hold on one second. I'm going to show it one more time. Hold on.
Come to work next week and I say, you know what? I'm going 20 times harder. My paycheck gonna be the exact same. Man, when I had that thought in my head at FedEx, I said, man, this job ain't for me, man. I'm not saying it ain't for everybody, but boy, I'll be damned if I come to work and I'm throwing 1,000 more boxes on the truck, but my paycheck gonna be the same. No, man, I gotta learn how to do something for myself. I gotta learn how I can create my own product. I got to learn how I can create my own service so that when I work harder and I work smarter and I'm more productive, man, I get to make at least some more money.
To all my family members and all my friends, remember when I was a young man and I kept quitting my jobs and y'all said I was tripping? Well, congratulations to the whole world. Y'all finally caught up. Now you understand what I already knew at 15 years old. It took you long enough.
Now you know what I understood when I was 15. Devontae, when you heard that clip, what you thought, bro?
Well, I'm trying to think about how I can minimize what I'm thinking, bro, because everything that I'm saying, bro, I feel like personally, when you got it, I don't care what age it is, you got it in you, man. Because I remember when I was 21, I was working at a factory job, all excited. And I remember them calling us my first year in. I remember them calling us in the office. Well, saying we got a meeting the next day. And all old school people like, yeah, this is the meeting about getting a raise. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. And I was making $13.75 an hour around 21. We got in a meeting, man, that morning. And we walked out and they told us we was getting a 75-cent raise at the end of the year. I said, hold on. The moment he said, I'm coming in and working hard just to do this or whatever, like that 75-cent raise, something just hit me. I don't know what hit me because I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I knew 75 cents was the answer to my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's what got me into sales. I was like, I got to get into something that got no cap in life. So that's why I went into 100% commission sales, because I cannot live my life thinking about I'm getting a 75-cent raise and people been here 20, 30 years and handing in my bad news the hardest thing. Because people told me, man, you're going to regret walking out of here, bro. You got insurance, you got benefits. And when the second guy was talking to Sam, when he talking about your family can literally mean your mother. Mine was my mother. My mother told me to stay exactly where I was at because I had insurance, I had good benefits, and I had a good paying job at the age of 21. So when he's talking about family, he's talking about people far off. It can be people you're living with, your mom, your family, your sister, your spouse. It doesn't matter. Family is family. And at that moment, I never told my mom about my dreams again because she didn't understand what was going on at the moment. She did what she had to do to get me where I was at. And to rewind 20 years, 15 years later, man, my mom got diagnosed with cancer last couple weeks ago. She started chemo last week, and she didn't worry about bills. I told my mom last week, I said, Mom, the bills is the last thing. You don't got no more bills. So I told her last week, I said, Mom, you don't have any more bills for the next 6 months to a year. All your bills taken care of, your car payment, your light bill, everything is taken care of. So when he's talking about now you see it, my mom didn't see it back then, but now she see it. Now she see I come to the house with a Louis bag, drop a $100,000 car, and when she's talking about these little bills, I don't stress. I don't even blink an eye. I say, Mom, don't tell me about how you feel about these bills. You're good. You know what I'm saying? The bills are taken care of. My little sister's good. You know what I'm saying? We're good. So don't tell me about these bills. Let that be the last thing you gotta worry about. Because stress is the number one killer.
Yeah.
So if you want to stress, you ain't about to stress about money. You know what I'm saying? So I literally told her that last week. And like God said, man, now you see it 15 years later. So when you got that thing in you, you just got to go for it, man, because it's very powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to, if it's in you, it's in you, man. So definitely, you know what I'm saying, just take it to the heart, man, and don't let anyone deter you from any dream or any goal that you may have because, man, when it's in you, man. So now I'm looking at it and, it's great now. So yeah, but that's what I got out of it, man.
Yes, sir. Super powerful. Everybody put Black in the chat. My boy blacked out on that one for sure. And I want y'all to understand what he's saying is so powerful. Like that, it's beyond just money. Y'all got to realize it's only really two things that most human beings have problems with in their whole entire life, right? One is going to be money. The second is going to be family, right? Relationships, money and family. What are any other problems that you have in life that can't be solved by money? Think about it. Life is very simple. Money and relationships. If those two things are good, your life is great. So the reality is this, it's past money at that point. So now she's in a situation where his relationship with his mother, he's like, yo, I want you to be okay. She's worried about what? Money. He has that. So now he has the ability to be able to give her what she needs. And that's the power in it. It's access. When we broke, right? It's cool to be broke. It's cool to have, because that's true freedom, right? True freedom is being broke. But when you got money, you can impact other people. People be like, I'm philanthropic. I'd be like, how much money you make, bro? Oh, yeah, I don't make nothing but 20K a year. Or how philanthropic can somebody be? Then when you only make 20K a year, how much time do you have? You probably work all the time. So you don't have time to even be philanthropic. But when you put yourself in a position like what Devontae is talking about, he's able to not only help him, his family, his wife, his kids, but his parents and other people outside of him because he decided to go pursue his dreams instead of just working for somebody. Now, if he still was at that job that she told him to stay at, he wouldn't be able to say the same thing. He would be right with her as well. He would be stressing too. They both be stressed about it. I want y'all to think about it. Devontae right now said, I ain't working. He's smiling in a bad situation because he's looking at the up and up. But imagine if he wasn't in this position now and he didn't take those risks to do and didn't say no to Mom Dukes and go pursue what he pursued, he would not be feeling this way. He wouldn't probably even have time to be on this call. He'd be stressed out, like, yo, I got to figure out what's going on for Mom Dukes right now. But now he's in a position to where he's like, yo, I got freedom and abundance and options. So now I'm in a position where I can be able to impact people for real. And I want y'all to think about that for yourselves because that's what it's going to come down to. Your girl gets sick. Are you stressed too? Outside of the fact that she's sick? Because you worried about, oh man, damn, my girl was working. She can't work no more. Half the bills is done. Some of y'all doing half and half. Nothing wrong with that. But you stressed now. Can you really help her? If your daughter gets sick and you got to pay something crazy, you like, yo, don't worry about it. Or you like, shit, everybody worry about it. You call them family meeting. Everybody got to pull together. We got to figure out something going on with little Becky. It's cool to talk. It's cool to talk about, oh yeah, no, I don't really care about money like that. It's not about the money, is it? Y'all think about it. It's not about the money, is it? Nobody in here cares about money. What do y'all really care about? Put a dancer in the chat. Nobody here cares about money. What do y'all really care about? Y'all care about what money provides, what money can actually attain for you. Because guess what? If you are a person that says, I got enough money to do whatever I need to do right now, but right now you're doing what you can instead of what you want, right? You drive the car that you can, not that you want. You live in a house right now that you can, not that you want. So that most likely means your parents do the same thing, right? Your friends do the same thing. And if you put yourself in a position to do that for the rest of your life, do you think you're going to have regrets, or are you going to think like, yeah, I really did my thing. I really lived my life? What y'all think? People don't care about money. If y'all did, y'all have rooms full of it. If y'all look at what y'all made the last 3 years in y'all bank statements right now, y'all be like, damn, I put that much money in my account. But you don't know where the money went because there were so many more important things that are of value. So you spent that money in that place. But you didn't care about the money itself. You care about what money can provide. What money can provide is health. What money can provide is experiences. What money can provide is freedom. You don't like how somebody treats you on this airline, you fly on this airline because you can pay for that. If you like somebody in your family and you want them to be taken care of, you can be able to make that decision. But when you don't got money, you can't do nothing about it. All you got to do is listen to their problems. That's the only thing you can do. Who in here ever got their mom asked them for some money before? Put a 1 in the chat. Your mom asked you for some money. And how many times were you in that situation and you didn't have the money? Put a 2 in the chat. And you didn't have the money. I want y'all to think about this right here. Your mom asked you for money, but you don't have it. Now, how did you feel in that specific moment when you were giving her a response? Some of y'all never been in that situation. But what would you have rather been able to do? Now, why weren't you able to actually give her the money? Why? What was going on with you that you wasn't able to do it? Think about the answer. What was going on with you that you wasn't able to actually help her out? You had the 9 to 5, didn't you? You had a job. I got to add that context in there. When she asked you for money, you had a job, right? My boy DeMarlon said he wasn't focused. Every time my mom ever asked for money, I had a job. And I still had to say no, I couldn't give it to her. Ain't that crazy? You know why? Because I had bills due, and based off of how much I was getting paid, I wouldn't be able to give it to her and still be able to keep myself afloat. It's sad as fuck, right? Imagine knowing that to be true and then thinking like, yo, I'm not going to go after my dream or try to go put myself in a position in the future where this never happens again. Imagine making that decision. Is that selfish or not? So some would say the most selfish thing you can do is be broke. You ever thought about that? Some would say the most selfish thing you can ever do in life is to be broke. And we're all one decision away from changing that perspective and changing that understanding and changing our situation. So everybody put change in the chat. Today's the accountability date that we are no longer going to think with that mindset of lack, that mindset of I can't do it, that mindset of, oh, the job will take care of it. We're going to change that. We got to change that. We got to make that change, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And you're going to have to go through those situations again where somebody close to you that you want to help, you can't help. And you got to, that conversation for me is insane. When somebody talking to me about asking me for help, you came to me with it, and I actually care about you, I consider you family, and I can't help you, I don't like that conversation. Because you know what it takes for somebody to ask somebody for money? Y'all know what it does to the other person asking, or asking the person for help? Especially in the Black and brown community, because we hate asking somebody for help, because we feel like they're going to talk shit about us when we do it. We feel like they're going to say, oh yeah, you had to ask me for help one time. But do you know what it takes for a Pushman Mitch to come to Jay Hines? Hey Jay, bro, you got time to talk real quick, bro? You got time to have a conversation? Look, I ain't gonna lie, man. I fell on hard times, and I don't know, man. It's some money got put in the wrong place, and now I'm in a situation where, bro, I got to do something that I really don't like to do. I don't know if I got to work for you. I don't know what I got to do, but can you just let me borrow whatever amount of money? You know how hard that would be for that to happen? Do you know how hard that would be? So imagine Jay being in a position to where he can't help, but he want to help. So now just both of us feel bad. Now we both feel bad. So think about it. Think about what you want for yourself and what you want for your family. It's bigger than you. Most of our dreams are attached to other people. If I make it, my nephew, he look at the world a totally different way. If I make it, my girl look at the world a totally different way. My mom look at the world, just like Devontae was just saying. His mom's seeing it different now. At first, she ain't see it when he was making $13 an hour. She said, stay there. He left. Now, he's like, don't worry about the bills. She was like, damn, don't worry about the bills. She started rolling back. Don't worry about the bills. What you mean? He like, I got it. Ain't no big deal. That confidence transfers over to her. Now she look at the world a totally different way. And you can be the one to provide that for your circle. So think about that. Everybody put black in the chat. I'm going to let y'all get up out of here. Everybody put black in the chat. Thank you for the very good morning motivation. I hope everybody use this. Exposure equals expansion. Y'all use all this information. Y'all use all of this programming that we just did, because all of this is, these conversations is just programming. And I consider this positive programming versus negative programming. Y'all sending memes and jokes and, TikTok dances. I'd rather you be programming yourself with stuff like this, so that when you go out and attack the world, you're equipped with some things to fight back. Y'all got me? So with that being said, love, honor, respect, I'm going to let y'all go. If y'all can do me a favor, all you got to do is take a screenshot real quick, tag me y'all stories, let me know what it is y'all thought about the morning motivation call today. I'll spotlight myself, screenshot me, tag me on IG. If your page is private, I won't see it. If it's public, I will see it. And anybody that does that, I appreciate it much, because I'm not asking y'all for money. I'm only asking y'all to participate so I can be able to get better at this and keep giving y'all these morning motivations. With that being said, I will talk to y'all soon. And for some of y'all, I'm going to see y'all at the New Year, New Me Mastermind, where I personally help y'all get funding on the spot, personally help y'all get strategies that I've used to build an 8-figure brand. And I want to help y'all do the exact same thing. So if you care about that, you already know what to do. I will see y'all January 8th to the 10th. Love, honor, respect, talk. And for my Restream,